Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gavin Fish. I'm glad you're here. If you're new to the channel, which many of you are, and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing if you think I deserve it and you like content like this. Also, I do ask that if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike the video, give it a thumbs down. That helps me to know what kind of videos to make. So I really appreciate it if you do that. Today was a big day in the case of Gabby Petito. The coroner in Teton County, Wyoming held a press conference. I did a live stream of it. We talked for about an hour about it, so I'm not going to make a super long video today, but I do think that it's probably wise to go ahead and do a recap just in case you missed what happened today. So with that, I'm just going to jump in. Now stick with me on this video because there is one little tiny piece of something that Dr. Brent Blue said that gave me some new information beyond the manner and cause that we've all been wondering about Gabby Petito. So let's go ahead and listen to what Dr. Blue has to say. I've just edited it down to about 40 seconds of what the main announcement was. Here we go.
Thank you for joining us. Sorry about the audio issue. I'm Dr. Brent Blue, Teton County, Wyoming coroner. After a detailed investigation by our forensic pathologist, our anthropologist, and local law enforcement, with assistance from the FBI, the Teton County Coroner's Office is following the following verdict. In the manner of death of Gabrielle Lenora Petito, we find the cause and manner to be death by and manner is homicide. By Wyoming state statute, only the cause and manner of death are released. Their autopsy findings and photographs and that sort of material is not released by state statute.
Okay, so after Dr. Blue made that announcement, he took some questions for about 30-40 minutes, and I have to say, in my opinion, most of the questions were stupid. Like, I think the reporters had to ask them because they had to ask questions, but they were mostly dumb. I just really didn't like them. But like I said, there was one really good question, and there was something that Dr. Blue said that gave us something new to go on. So stick with me for that one. First, I'm going to go here, the cause and manner, right? Homicide by... He would not say whether it was manual or mechanical, meaning done by the use of a tool or something. Manual would be done by hand, mechanical done by a tool like a rope or something like that. The time of Gabby Petito's death was estimated to be 3 to 4 weeks before the body was found. Now, we know that the body was found on September 19th. So what we've all been going on is the last day that we believe that Gabby Petito was alive was probably the 27th of August, though I think an argument can be made that it was sometime from the 27th to the 29th. And that fits within that 3 to 4 week period. The next question was people asked about the condition of Gabby's remains, and he only said that her remains were outside for 3 to 4 weeks. And so there wasn't any other information besides that. And they pressed him on it and they asked him specific questions, but he wouldn't go beyond 3 or 4 weeks. But again, he said something that tells us a big thing. I'm getting there. Okay, the next question was, were there any DNA samples taken? And he said the answer to that is yes. Now, in my live stream, we talked quite a lot about, can DNA be taken from a scene that is 3 or 4 weeks old? And the answer to that question is sometimes it can. Sometimes it can be taken and amplified and used in a prosecution successfully. So we're glad that they took DNA samples. The next question was, Gabby Petito pregnant? Which I thought was a really good question because many of us had speculated that might be the cause that might have enraged Brian Laundrie to do this, if indeed he did it, which most of us, including myself, believe. The answer to that question is no, Gabby Petito was not pregnant. Okay, the last question that I'm going to go over in this video is, and this was such a good question, a reporter asked, did Dr. Blue seek advice or input from entomologists or botanists? And Dr. Blue said yes, they had input from a forensic anthropologist and The FBI used materials, they sent materials, sorry, I typed that wrong, sent materials to a forensic entomologist, which begs the question, what is a forensic anthropologist and what is a forensic entomologist? Now, it turns out that my friend, Dr. Matthew Gruelle, who is a professor of advanced genetics and genomics at Penn State, is himself an entomologist. So I happen to know what that is. That is the study of bugs, right? So if I go over to my screen here, what is forensic entomology? It's the study of insects and arthropods in criminal investigation. So right from the early stages, insects are attracted to the decomposing body and may lay eggs in it. By studying the insect population and the developing larval stages, forensic scientists can estimate the postmortem index. That means, well, basically, how far into decomposition the body is. Any change in the position of the corpse as well as the cause of death. Forensic, and then it goes into more part of entomology, right? So they would use forensic entomologists to help establish that timeline. The big one for me, though, guys, is what is a forensic anthropologist? Generally speaking, forensic anthropology is the examination of human skeletal remains for law enforcement agencies to help with the recovery of human remains, determine the identity of unidentified human remains, interpret trauma, and estimate time since death. So let me tell you why I think that is big. A lot of the questions that we had in the live stream was, what would Gabby's condition be in after 3 to 4 weeks outside in the Wyoming wilderness? And I want to be respectful to Gabby's family, in that, talking about this is pretty sensitive, but I think that we should talk about it because this gives us more information than we knew before. Now, before we only knew the manner of death, right? Now we know the cause and manner. And now we also know that in order to finish their investigation, at least at the coroner's office, they had to use forensic anthropology, which is the study of human skeletal remains. So I think that her remains being out in the open were probably subject to not only insect populations, but also wild animals, also faster decomposition because of the elements. So that is what happened today. I don't think that I need to belabor this any. I think it's huge, though. I think we learned so much today. The big ones were, was there DNA evidence collected? Yes. Was Gabby Petito pregnant? No. Do we know the cause of death? Yes. And we know that forensic anthropologists were used to identify her or to assist in the investigation, which means that they were studying her skeletal remains. Anyway, guys, that was what happened today. Thank you very much for checking me out and for watching my video. If you lasted this long, maybe you should consider subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to either like or dislike, depending on how you think I did. And with that, I will bid you adieu, and I hope to see you the next time. Take care. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below.